Welcome to the LYT RX. My name is Lara Heimann, and I'm a physical therapist and yoga teacher and movement lover. This is for slouchy shoulders. So the way so many people are living our lives is sitting and letting the shoulders slouch forward. Well, that leads to a whole host of problems. So this will be a short little tutorial on how to help out those slouchy shoulders. The first thing we need to do is find a neutral position for the scapula. If the scapula is neutral, then the head of the arm bones are going to be better off. They're going to stay more centered. What does neutral mean? Neutral is when the scapula, which are in the back, which are the back part of the arms, are a few inches away from the spine. So pictured from here, when you slouch, you can see here's neutral scapula. When I slouch, they slide away from neutral, and that makes the head of the arm bone, the humeral head, roll forward. And so we get all kinds of problems with the neck and the area between the shoulder blades, and then of course around the shoulder. So the first thing to do is to really discover the scapula, is to start mobilizing. I say everybody should do this shoulder rolls every day and just go backwards. So you lift the head of the arm bone, you pull that scapula in and lower. And you do one at a time. And you'll maybe even hear some like Rice Krispie stuff. That's like the fascia that's been little dried out. So fascia is connective tissue that's surrounding all the muscles and the other parts, the ligaments and tendons. And it needs to be mobile, and it needs to have like a liquidity to it, like this. It has water in it. So we want water to be moving. When something dries out, it's more, I always say it's like the rice paper that's before you put it in water. It's very crispy, and the crispiness is what you're feeling as you're getting some hydration in there. And so once you've done that a little bit, see if you can bring the scapula more to midline. But as you do that, bring one hand with some awareness to the ribs so that you're not just moving the rib cage and that slides them in, because the other part of the neutral scapula is that you're finding the scapula on the back ribs without letting the front ribs push forward. So the connection of scapula to back ribs is the important anchoring of the shoulder. Then we need the shoulder to move and over, and you can do this sitting. You don't have to be on the floor like I am. But we'll take the left arm forward, reach like you're going to shake somebody's hand, letting that scapula slide away from the midline, and then we'll slide it back to midline, and then the right arm comes forward, reach like you're going to reach somebody, bring it back, and we'll alternate, and then you can even add more of a swing. So one arm is going back, and I like to do this in a lunge. So I'm lunged and I'm swinging. So it's freeing up the scapula and the ribs. Free rotation of the ribs is going to help slouchy shoulders as well. So do that there, holding the belly in, and then you can alternate the other side in a low lunge. You could also, like I said, you could be doing this in the edge of the chair, keeping the head in line, that you're not jutting, because the chin will also influence the shoulders. Then from here, again, you could be in a chair, or you could be, I'm going to do this in a squat. So the feet come wide, the arms dangle, and I'm going to take both shoulder bones up and really squeeze the scapula together, like beyond neutral. That's called retraction. Keep them retracted and then drag them down a little bit. So lift up, squeeze them together, and then drag them down. And this, you might feel like into the neck getting some pull, which is that, that's also affected by the slouchy shoulders. Up, squeeze together, and up, squeeze together. So we're getting the scapula mobile. Two more. Pull together and down, and then up, pull together, and then down. And then feel how that's all a lot more energized in. Now come to a wall. You're going to, right arm is forming a 90-degree angle. Take the right arm on the wall and then face to the left. So the right arm's on the wall, and then bend the knees so there's buoyancy in them. Bring your hands on your belly so you're not going to let the belly pull forward, and start to walk your feet away from the wall until you feel a really nice pull on the chest. So the chest tissues, the pec major and minor that run from the chest to the humeral head or somewhere on the scapula get shortened in slouchy with slouchy shoulders. So this is, again, we're using the abdominals and getting a nice pull. And the head, if you want to get that involved, you can drop the chin toward the throat and get a nice pull on the neck. And then you can bring it back up to neutral. Come back to the wall, other side, the left elbow in line at 90 degrees. Bend the knees, walk until your feet might be able to turn away from the wall. And if the sides are a little tighter for me. Ooh. So again, watch the ribs. Don't let them project forward. Hold and breathe. You don't want to experience any compression, certainly no pain, but you'll feel a pull, and that's okay. Breathe there. Now, if you are someone that has a lot of immobility in the humeral head, but you still have slouchiness, be careful about this. For a few people, when they have that laxity, you don't want to go too deep into this. And then come back around, and then just let your arms dangle and see if that slouchy feeling is better. One other thing we'll do is coming onto all fours. We're going to do that action of broadening the upper back and the shoulder blades draw away from each other, protraction, and let the head release. Tip the tailbone. This is called cat in the yoga world. And then come back and find neutral scapula, so draw them together a little bit, and then just release the chest down to the floor without letting the elbows bend. So try that again. Exhale, lift up, broadening the upper back, and then the scapula come to try and find neutral toward each other, and then just the chest releases. And exhale, lift up like a cat, and soften the chest, shoulder blades draw together, and hold the belly in here, and then come. And then just see if those few minutes of doing some movement helped you find a more upright position, less slouchy, and the shoulders feel better because of that. Thank you for joining me today.